What is up, gamers? Staxwell's back at it again today with another market watch. Not only that, we got a bonus treat. LSS has been gracious enough to gift us a spoiler for the upcoming set Rosetta, and I couldn't be more excited to share it with you guys. I couldn't be more excited for the set. The market watch is going to be, I guess you could say, a Rosetta themed market watch. I don't want to bury the lead here. So let's go ahead and pull up the spoiler. We have Harvest Season, beautiful art, decent card, 1 for 3, a little bit more diverse than Sigil because you could block with it, and it being an aura, very relevant to the new set. The first thing I thought about when I seen this card was Nebula Blade. Nebula Blade seems very good with it. It only costing 1 and Nebula Blade costing 2. Seems like a perfect combo with just a blue pitch, right? Pitch a blue, play Harvest Season, attack with Nebula Blade. Nebula Blade, of course, attacking for 3 on hit, create a rune chant, and then Harvest Season gaining 3 life. That's a 2-card 8, and we love 2-card 8s around here. Cheapest cold full Nebula Blade on the market is $22. I think it's decently likely that Verdance could wind up playing Nebula Blade. And not only that, but of course, Viserai will probably lean towards Nebula Blade as well, given the new support. Either way, $22 for a cold foil that's this old and this sought after. I think it's a great deal. Moving on, Runic Reclamation. I think this card's going to be insane. 4 cards like Harvest Season, right? If your opponent plays in Harvest Season and you come in with a Runic Reclamation, you have that break point and you're threatening their 3 points of value via destroying Harvest Season. Runic Reclamation and Everfest Majestic as well. You know how much we love Everfest Majestics on the channel. The cheapest copy of Runic Reclamation is about $5 now, and there's still quite a bit of supply. So plenty of time to get in on this. I think it's a fantastic card, especially with all of the auras in the upcoming set. Not just Harvest Season, right? But the Wizards are getting auras. The other Rune Blades are getting auras. All of the tokens, the embodiments. There's just so much stuff that you could be destroying. The Rune Chants, Runic Reclamation kind of seems like it's going to be an all-star next set. Spellbound Creepers, obviously a good one. The iconic Runeblade boot slot. For those aggressive, like go fast decks, go wide decks, I think it's one of the best cards in the game, being able to kind of pseudo give your Snatch or Tome of Fendall go again. It's just one of the most powerful interactions you can be doing. Cheapest rainbow foil on the market is only $119. If you guys remember, just a little while ago, it spiked up way higher than this. Maybe just like a month or 2 months ago, it was at like 150. So to see it calm down this much is exciting, especially when we're so close to Rosetta. There's still some time to get in on this. Heart of Fendall, next card I want to talk about. On the opposite end of calming down, Heart of Fendall is just going crazy. Look at that chart right there. Cheapest copy on the market is $400, and there's only like 5 copies left up here. And they just exponentially increase with every copy listed. Seems totally insane with the new Verdance. With the new Verdance hero power, being able to pitch this, gain a life, and dealing a damage to your opponent seems obviously powerful, obviously insane. I'm very excited to play with it. The day 1 fab players are kind of eating good that held their Heart of Fendalls. Moving on, Persuasive Prognosis is going kind of crazy. Cheapest copy on the market is $16.25. We haven't talked about this card since it was like $5 or $6. This might be a little bit old news because new is the big reason that this is going up. Uzuri winning the Pro Tour is another big reason that this card is going up. So we're a little bit late to the game on talking about Persuasive Prognosis. But yeah, I wanted to bring it to everyone's attention. $16.25 for the cheapest copy. Absolutely insane. Look at that graph. Just goes crazy. Shoots up 77% out of nowhere. Alluvian Constella's cheapest copy on the market is like $25 shipped. I think it's a fantastic card. Not only is it a great card in the Wizard Mirrors, every Wizard Mirror pretty much forever is going to be playing Alluvian. But back in the Icelander days, I don't know if everyone who watches the channel remembers, but I was a huge Icelander fan back in the day. And I would even play Alluvian Constellas versus Viserai all the time, or versus Vincent all the time. And it just felt like it made the matchups trivial. It made them like a free win, right? Because they just couldn't throw their rune chants at you every turn effectively. That just gives you perfect utilization of all of your resources. There was just no winning when this card was on the other end of the table for a Runeblade against a Wizard. Just getting those free waning moon shots in every turn was just a little too much. I don't think we've seen the new Verdance weapon yet. I don't think it's been officially spoiled, so I'm not sure if Alluvian Constellas will be insane with that card or not. That's yet to be determined, but at least with Waning Moon, and I imagine Waning Moon will still be good, Alluvian Constellas will be good with Waning Moon. Only $25 for a legendary. I think it's a fantastic pickup. If you're planning on playing Wizard, you absolutely need this card. It's 100% going to be a staple. If you don't have it, please pick it up while it's cheap. Cheapest copy, again, $25. Moving on, Coram. This one I'm a little bit less confident in, but the risk to reward is also greater, right? So Coram reads that whenever a hero reveals a card, they can gain a life. Obviously broken with Verdance, right? If you could find a consistent way to reveal cards every turn, then every turn you're gaining a life, and of course, Verdance's effect is also going to be dealing a damage. The only caveat to that is going to be able to find a consistent way to reveal cards. Obviously, the fuse mechanic will be a big one. We haven't seen almost any of the Earth cards spoiled. My Earth spoiler doesn't fuse, so I don't know if fusing will be a mechanic in this set. We could obviously use the old fuse cards, or we don't have to fuse. We could reveal by other means, like Rouse the Ancients or Ravenous Rabble, something like that. There's plenty of other cards in the game that fuse right now. But for such a cheap card, right, $68 for a Fable Cold Foil, insane pickup. Obviously, we don't need to dive too deep into that. That's pretty obvious. But if you could find a way to reveal cards every turn and then gain that life every turn and shoot your opponent for 1 and gain 1 every turn, Verdance seems like she could be an absolute menace if she could find a way to keep this around. I think it's a good pickup, $68, even if it doesn't play out in Verdance the way we want it to. Again, this is just an insane price point for a Fable Cold Foil. Kindle, cheapest copy on the market, is $10. Kindle is very clearly a broken card. We've seen it already with all of the Kano shenanigans going on. We also know that Ocilio likes to draw cards. It seems kind of built into his hero power. So Kindle seems like a natural inclusion. We also have Mind Warp and Swell Tidings making a comeback as well. Amp being a big theme in the upcoming set. Ocilio weapon amps things, so it seems reasonable that you would want to be throwing Surge cards at your opponent, and if you're already playing Surge cards, then Kindle seems like a natural inclusion to kind of combo with those other Surge cards. So yeah, Kindle, probably a safe pickup. You're probably going to want to have this if you're planning on playing Wizard. Cheapest copy is also steadily going up. Look at that, it's up 55%. Cheapest copy is $10. Intoxicating Shot, cheapest copy on the market, is like $19. This card is just going absolutely crazy. People love the big green guy Riptide. I know it's not a Rosetta card to talk about per se, but it is having some crazy movement, and I just needed to bring it to everyone's attention here. Sonata Galaxia, crazy card. It just kind of never had a place in the metagame. Runeblades haven't really been in a good spot since Sonata Galaxia came out. That is probably almost certainly going to change with Rosetta. Cheapest copy of Sonata Galaxia on the market is $10 right now. Teklo Foundry Heart, cheapest rainbow foil from Arcane Rising, old OG rainbow foil here. Cheapest copy is only $20, and the new -IO Armory deck that's coming out doesn't have Teklo Foundry Heart, so you're definitely going to need it, and it's such a reasonable price point. The other Armory decks, right, like if you think of the Bolton Armory deck or the KO Armory deck, right, you need these crazy expensive legendary cards. You need Tunic, or you need Scowling Fleshbag or something like that. Maybe not crazy expensive, but Teklo Foundry Heart and the new -IO deck seem like such a cheap entry point into the game. It was such a fantastic hero selection on LSS's side for the Armory deck. Teklo Foundry Heart, only $20 for the rainbow foil. I think it's a steal. -IO, the promo card herself, the cold foil. This was I think an RTN or a ProQuest top 8 promo back in the day. Cheapest cold foil on the market is $60, which is way down from what it should be. It was stabilized at like $100 for like a year straight, and then out of nowhere just slowly trickled down. But with the introduction of the new -IO Armory deck, I think it could turn this card around. And only $60 for a cold foil adult hero, I think it's just a steal. Heist, also a big one. I don't foresee Heist coming in the new -IO Armory deck, but Heist is a crucial way to the way that Dash wants to play. A very powerful card. Only $10 for the cheapest copy. It is up quite a bit right now on the back of that Armory deck announcement, but it's going to be a staple. You're going to need it. So if you plan on playing that Armory deck, I highly recommend picking it up. Tome of Harvest, cheapest copy on the market, is $5. This one's kind of stabilized quite a bit, but since the announcement of Rosetta, it's up like 600% according to TCG Player. But yeah, that's because it says draw 3 cards, and any TCG Player fan knows Drawing cards is fun, and it's very hard to get a card that says draw 3 cards in pretty much any game ever. And it's no exception in Flesh and Blood. I think actually drawing cards is more fun in Flesh and Blood, especially if you're a wizard. So I'm excited to play this in Verdance and see where it goes. Cheapest copy on the market is only $5. Blaze Firemind, speaking of wizards, this is the Rainbow Foil Blaze. Cheapest copy on the market is $43. This was like a convention exclusive card. And while I do think Blaze is cool and fun, I do think that this card is going to continue to drop down quite a bit. Last time we talked about this card, it was like $80 to $100. So it's gone down quite a bit. I think it's going to continue to go down quite a bit as these cold foil blazes trickle their way into the market. Speaking of that, if you have any skirmishes in your area, I highly recommend going. Try and win yourself a cold foil blaze. It'll surely be more expensive than this. Try and win yourself a cold foil channel mount heroic, and try and win yourself, well, I guess you don't even have to win. The participation promo cards are even kind of sick. They're like extended art versions of some of the commons in the set, and I imagine those cards are going to be worth a decent penny as well. But yeah, Blaze, Firemind, if you don't need it for the immediate skirmish season, I recommend just waiting. $43, cheapest copy on the market. Oasis Respite, the obvious counter to all wizard shenanigans in the current meta, and probably won't change in the next meta. It's actually going to get a layer better because you'll be able to gain life, which obviously is good with Verdance. Being able to gain life means you're able to deal a damage to your opponent, so prevent 4 damage, gain a life, and deal a damage for 1 resource. Seems kind of insane. Cheapest copy on the market is $42. Highly recommend picking this up. I don't know how this card got so cheap. Yeah, it's a steal. It's a steal right now. There's no way around that. Embodiment of Earth, the cold foil Embodiment of Earth. Cheapest copy on the market is $102. And look, Magnolia Games has 13 of them up here. I think this card is just criminally cheap. I think it's such a beautiful card. And I know it's a token, so you don't like need it. But just with the way Verdance seems like she's going to be playing, it seems like you're going to be making Embodiment of Earth quite frequently, and having a cold foil to be able to throw out there and flex on your opponents seems kind of fun. If you guys are excited if you guys are as excited as I am for Rosetta, I recommend, and you're going to buy boxes anyway, you're going to buy cases anyway, I recommend doing it through Star City Games. Star City Games has promo cards right now. So if you buy a box of Rosetta, you get a cold foil rune chant token that has like the lightning art on it. Pretty sick stuff right there. They're not paying me to say this or anything. I'm not at all sponsored by Star City Games. It's just such a good deal. I like almost have to talk about it. I can't be the market watch guy and not bring up a good deal when I see one. But just be warned, they always sell out of these promo bundles every set. And this one looks like it's going to be no exception. Only 24 boxes and 26 cases left in stock. So if you're looking to get your hands on those cold foil rune chants, I would act fast. I did personally pick up the box. I just want 1 cold foil rune chant. But the case having 4, it seems kind of good because you're going to be making multiple rune chants every turn. So it's possible that you want more than just 1 of the token. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, rate, subscribe, and help the algorithm help me out just a little bit later, gamers.